Thank you, John, for meeting with me today. I don't know if anything I have today can help you or not, but we'll go through it. We'll see if there's anything that we can do to help you. We work with insurance companies and annuities, and we tell people how to work with money and shave years off their retirement. Now, I'll go through this. If you find anything that interests you, then we'll go through it at a later time. I'll gather some information. We'll go through it at a later time. And you don't need any money today because I'm not selling you anything today. So, I work for Federal Financial Group, and we're insurance companies and financial groups that have $1 billion worth of assets, and been in business for over 100 years. Now, what we do is we tell you about money and how it works and how you can make it work better for you. And like I said, shave years off that retirement. That sounds good to me, does it to you? Okay. So, I'm going to talk about what's happening in the world today. We have higher income, but inflation is growing just as fast as our paychecks are growing. So people are getting more and more debt because they're using their credit cards to make up the difference, and it makes it harder and harder to do that. So what First Financial has done is we have 7 steps. We put them together, interlink them. They play heavily on each other. And we're going to tell you about those. I want you to listen, pick out a couple that would benefit you the most, and we'll talk about that when I get done. I'm going through these rather quickly. Stop me if you have questions, and we'll see what we can do for you. All right, the 7 steps. The first one is inspect what you inspect. And that sounds a little crazy, doesn't it? But we have to know what you need in order to be able to fit you a budget for retirement. Whether you need $3,000 a month for incidentals or whether you need $2,000. It makes a big difference. If I budget you for 2 and you need 3, it ain't going to work very well. So we need to know what you need. So inspect what you expect. The second one is increase your cash flow. And we can do this by, did you get a tax refund last year? You did? Well, how about let's getting that back in your paycheck so that you have more to live on. Okay? So there's other ways to increase your income, but let's just start with that one. The second one is eliminate debt. And what they ask you to do is that you list all your assets from the ones you owe the most to the least. And you take minimum payments, all right? This one's $100. So you pay this one off, and then you take this $100 and apply it to the second payment. So you're going to pay them $238 a month. Now, if you do this, including your mortgage, you will pay off your debt half the time. That would be fun too, wouldn't it? So, the next one is to start an emergency fund. And this is very necessary. I think I used mine within a month after putting it together. But anyway, I lost my alternator on the freeway, I-5, going to Portland one morning to a meeting. And so it's for the alternators. It's for the dishwasher, refrigerator, the washer dryer that goes out. Money that you don't want to take from your budget, your monthly pay, because there's not enough in there for that. Anyway, it's not for the pizza you ordered tonight that you spent the money at lunchtime for your lunch, and now you don't have it. You don't use out of your emergency fund. Emergency fund should be liquid. It should have better interest than your checking account, and it should be systematic payment. All right. So, all the other bit. And it shouldn't be under your mattress, and it shouldn't be in the cookie jar. It's something you have for emergencies. And one of the hardest things would be if you took your daughter to the emergency room at the hospital and they wanted $500 before they touch her and you didn't have it. That would be hard. The next step is protect what you have. And this is life insurance. Fine, family of 5, pretty soon you're not there. Well, how does your family pay the mortgage or the rent or the utilities or food? I know I have a friend whose son had an aneurysm on the way home. He ran into a tree and he was in coma for over a year and he finally died. Was his 3 kids, are they living under the bridge? Is there rescue mission? What happened to them? But if he'd had life insurance and what Social Security gives them, they could have survived. So, you need a little life insurance to take care of your family. All right. The next one is step 6, and this is the one everybody likes. And step 6 is build long-term financial independence, long-term income, and long-term savings. All right. Let me ask you a question. No, first of all, I'm going to tell you, in order to be financially secure, you have to win 2 battles. And the 2 battles are taxes and inflation. And I'll get into inflation in a minute. But I'm going to get nose to nose with you. Because if you don't learn this concept, it may be years before you can become financially secure. All right. So here's the 2, the financial battle, the taxes, and inflation. I'll talk about inflation in a minute. Right now I'm going to talk about taxes. With taxes, it's not what you earn, it's what you keep. And taxes can hurt you if you're not careful. The other one is inflation. Do you know the rule of 72? Yeah, most people have heard that, but really don't understand. I mean, it's not fresh on their head. So we're going to go on. So you have 72. And if you have 4% interest, 4 into 72 is 18. That means it will take 4% interest 18 years for a number to double. So you have $100 in 18 years, it's going to be $200. Another 18 years, it's going to be $400. Another 18 years, it's going to be $800. All right, so let's increase this a little. Let's make it 8%. Into 72 goes 9. So $100, 9 years later, it's $200. So this is 1836. 2, 3, 4, 5, 54, 12, 72, and 90. Oh, I don't know if we live to 90, but let's just go down here a few. So this is 18 years. This is 27 years. 800 is 36 years. All right, here was 36. You only had $100 in 36. And this 100 This way you had $800. You know, inflation would have ate that up. All right. I'm going to show you a little thing. Here we have 4%. This guy had $10,000 at age 29 at 4% interest. So the time he was 65, he had $40,000. Okay, $40,000. All right, at age 12%, by the time he's 65, he had $640,000. Do you see why I want to get nose to nose with you? This guy missed out on $600,000 because he didn't know the rule of win the two battles. Each one of them started out with $10,000, and each one went to 65. So there's no difference in time. But this one had $640,000, and this one only had 40. All right. But let me tell you, it's not having $10,000. It's having some money put aside every month for your retirement. All right? Not a matter of how much money you start with, it's that you start and you keep on. Get that rule? All right. So if you had $10,000 and it made 10% interest, year one, year two, you'd have $1,201. And what if the market tanked 20%? If you were in the market, you would have $906,000. But if you were in program, it would go straight across here. You still have the 12 And if it stayed there for 5 years, they would give you 2% for those 5 years. Then if the market came back up to 15%, you would get 12% because it caps at 12. And the insurance company takes what's above that because they have to make some money somewhere. Now, you're saying, where do I get this kind of interest? All right, there's three scenarios, and I'll give you a synopsis of each one. All right, you have the banks, which have their CDs, CD, and money markets. You don't no loss of principal and no loss of interest. Isn't that good? That's a good place to start. All right, over here you have the stock market, which has mutual funds and stocks, but the interest rate is very volatile. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down. 1 minute you worth your fortune, and then the next minute you lost it all. The third one is the index strategy, which is off the S&P. No loss of principal, no loss of interest, and the last 10 years the S&P has averaged 10%. Now, if you were going to put your money, which one would you put your money in? This one? Very good. This one's becoming more and more popular today, and that's the type that we work with. All right. So, I have another story to tell you. There was a 29-year-old man, young boy, that entered the bank because he didn't know these concepts and said, "Mr. Banker, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 60. So he said, "Mr. Baker, what do I have to save each month in order to do that?" Back then you could get 5%. Can't do that anymore. Baker said $640. This kid felt dejected. He didn't make $640. That was more than his mortgage payment. Anyway, So he left the bank. He didn't do anything. He didn't start putting a little bit. He didn't do anything. He just walked out there. And now he's working at Walmart. He's a greeter. Nice young man. I like to speak to him when I go in. So, he's working at Walmart. But if he'd have known the rule of 72 and got 10%, he'd only have to get $900 a month. Now, $900 a month, that's saving $700. All right, but can you give $900 a month? I couldn't either. So let's add taxes and bring it down to $200 to $300 a month. Now, could you and I give $200 a month? I think we could if we'd stop being lavish, spending too much money, eating out too much. We could probably do the $300. So if somewhere down the road you found yourself with your money making more than you're bringing home in your wages or your self-employment, what would you like to do? Where's your dreams? Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. All right, let's being financially independent is doing what you want, when you want, how you want. You have the money to do it. All right? That is step 6. So step 7 is estate planning. You should have a will to tell people where you want your money to go, whether you want it to go to a charity or your wife, your children, or whatever it is. It saves having a mess. So now that we've gone through all 7 steps, expecting what you expect, increasing your cash flow, eliminating debt, emergency fund, insurance, financial income, and estate planning, where do you think, which 2 interest you the most? Okay. Okay. So where do we go from here is we fill out a financial needs analysis. We decide what you have, what you'd like to have, and I take it back. I put the information in a sophisticated computer program. It shoots me out a report. Then I can go back and adjust it and say, all right, let's put $20,000 in and pay $300 a month and see where you'll be. So you can look at both pictures. Okay? Now, you might say, what do I owe you for this? What am I going to owe you for this? Well, next time I come back, I want fresh baked chocolate chip cookies and a cold glass of milk. That's funny. You're getting so serious and you look so worried. You don't pay me anything. I get a finder's fee for the insurance company that I hook you up with. And it's a win-win situation. I get paid, you get paid, and all your money goes to work for you. So that's a good deal. So if we were to make you a plan, how much do you think you could put away a month for this plan? $250? So why don't we put $50 in a emergency fund and $200 in a retirement plan. Okay? Now, I need to ask you 3 or 4 questions. They're yes or no answers. They're no maybes. You need to be straight with me. You don't have to be accurate, but you need to be as close as you can be. And do you have any major purchases that you plan on the next 2 or 3 years? No. Okay. And if I was to put a plan together for you that fits your needs and the budget, is that something we could do together? Okay. Is there anyone that would have to be there making that decision with you? And how soon would you like to get started? All right. And if it works for you, does your buddy need some of his plans so he can retire early so you can go to the Bahamas or wherever together? Okay. Would you refer him to me? Okay. So let's set up that appointment. Where would you like to come back and meet with me? 4 o'clock tomorrow? All right. Thank you for meeting with me. And you're going to be blown away. This is simply amazing, and you're going to thank me. You're going to owe me big time.